Hi, this is Andre Dumet, CEO of Geosemble Technologies. We're going to walk through a demonstration of the GeoXray Geographic Search and Discovery tool here, focused today on the Middle East. So we're going to zoom in to an area of interest here over Afghanistan, and you can see there are clusters of content here, those red icons. Each of the numbers shows a content count. They can be blogs, tweets, not emails though, not for this deployment, and websites, news articles, a number of different types of content from external sources on the internet and, in fact, internal sources as well, databases and reports and so forth. So each of those indicates a count of content, and the content is stored on the original location. Now here we've just searched for a particular place, Pashtunistan Square in Kabul. So what we can do here is zoom in and take a better look at that. Now here we're sitting on top of the Google Earth plugin, which brings with it some advantages. You can see sort of an angled view here, which allows you to bring in 3D imagery and get a deeper visualization of the different buildings in the city, and then associate content with those locations. Now here's the square that we looked for earlier. It's there. As we look around the square, we can get a little bit more information on the different buildings and the entities that are in the buildings, and furthermore the content associated with different entities that are in this general area. You can see on the left pane they've got points of interest. Those that have content will have a little icon there, a little newspaper icon. Above you have categories. You can select categories and remove them if you're only interested in, for example, hotels. As we see here, you can select that. Now we're going to go and click on some content associated with that particular hotel, the Serena Hotel. You can see that the system goes out to the original source for that material and pulls it in association with the point of interest that it was linked to. Here we're just browsing, trying to get a better feeling for what's in this area. Again, in downtown Kabul, the visualization of the Google Earth here plugin allows you to play around with the different angles that you're viewing it at, etc. We can also view this in Google Maps or ArcGIS or other visualization media. We continue to explore the area, and we may decide that we want to get a little bit broader view of what's happening. So we can zoom out, and as we do that, the individual locations begin to cluster again into red clustered icons. As we zoom out, you can see that happening there. We'll go to a more straight down orthogonal view here, and what we can do is do a search of a topic of interest. We also got the world sideways here, so I want to fix that. That's in our power here. So put in a keyword here of protest, and that reduced the cluster count. Now we're going to further reduce it with another term, attack, and then we're going to add a third one. Now we can also add search strings and phrases. We can also omit terms using the Boolean logic here. And now we're going to filter it by date as well. So really we have now a triple filter of the location of interest, the topics of interest, and a time frame of interest. And so for those three filters, we've found something that's popped up here, a location called Rastan, which is in Syria. And as we zoom in on that, we can get a little bit deeper sense of what this place is based on the filter terms and the search terms we put in there. We'll go ahead and pull up the most recent one, and it goes out to the original source, and there's the term protest that came up there. We had a couple of other terms in there as well, so let's go ahead and put those in. There's attack, that's where that came up, and then the other term was killed, so we'll put that in there, and unfortunately that's in there as well. So we saw how that particular article met the constraints that we put into the system with date and topic and location. So as we zoom back out and get a more holistic view, we can remove those constraints and we'll continue to leave the time filter in for that period, and we'll put in a phrase here, drone attack, and we'll see what happens with the icon. So we've reduced it quite a bit. There's a cluster of activity down here in South Yemen. We'll pick the biggest number, zoom in on that location, and here we are in the village probably of Azan. So we'll go ahead and look at what's happening there. So we'll pull up the article, it goes out to the source, and then there's the search term drone attack there in the article. And we can also, read the article, get a sense of what may be happening in the immediate area, and now we're much more informed about a place that we may not have even heard of before and could not really have searched for that location since we didn't really know the name of it. Now, we may want to know what else is in this area, and there are sources of information, NGA and Wikimapia and other sources that can help us there. So we're going to go to the Wikimapia API and we're going to request information in these different categories. So our GeoPopular will query that web service. It's found points of interest in these categories, and many of these are in Arabic, and since we have also points of interest in Arabic from various sources, including the NGA Global Names database, that will attract content. Now, we can go ahead and load those in there, but I may decide that I'm interested in this Azan area, and I'd like to be alerted anytime any information happens in the general area that hits this search constraint, drone attack. So I've set up an alert, and when I do that, what we get is an RSS feed that can go to my mobile device when I'm out and about, and I can be very well informed about what's going on in a particular area, filtered down to terms. I can click on the article and it will take me to the article. I can read that, or if I click on this logo here, it will also take me on the phone or here at the desktop back to the specific location that was mentioned in the article. So you can see how we did that there. And then we go ahead and read the article. Now, here on the desktop, as you read the article, you may decide that a particular part of that article is interesting, a phrase or a paragraph or even a couple of paragraphs. So what you can do is you can highlight that, and what we're going to do is mark the article. And the way you do that here in GeoXray is you click that icon and you paste the text in there, and then you can write a comment about the article based on whatever it is that you know or may be interested in. And then you can go ahead and also rate the veracity of the source. In this case, we'll just pick it's usually reliable and probably true. And we can submit that to a mission folder, and we can export that now as a KML file, and we'll be exporting also as a CSV. So you can read that in ArcGIS, you can visualize it, and here we're going to do it in Google Earth. So we'll go ahead and pull that up. And what it does is it goes to the place that the article referred to, and when you click on the icon, it retains the content of it retains the live link, so you can click on that. It retains the rating, the date, the location, your snippet, and any comments that you made. So it's a nice way to share information with other people who may be interested in a particular part of the world. Now, what we're going to do here is we're just going to look at what we call the content view. So this is an option. Instead of looking at individual icons, you can just scan headlines and get a sense of what's happening in an area. And the headlines will relate to whatever area is in the map extent. So as I zoom out, we will get articles and content and tweets and blogs from a number of different sources associated with the map extent that you're looking at. So here we've clicked on a couple of articles here, and when you see these icons linked together, it means that an article mentioned more than one place. So that's how we can do that. Now we can go in also and select and deselect specific sources. It may be that tweets are what you're interested in, and you can go through and just say, show me all the tweets for this area, or you can deselect that and look for other sources, etc. So here we pulled up a tweet which we can actually map there using the GeoXray Map It feature. Here's another tweet that we've pulled up associated with the location. Now that will be tied to an Arabic named location in the GeoXray database, so that'll be linked that way because of the text matching capability. We can do multiple languages. So now we're gonna take a look at that one. This is a report that may have been brought in from a local database, a company repository of information, or some other protected database source. Provide information to people who may not be familiar with this area, but who would like to discover information associated with it. So that was some information on the mining company. Now we have an article about, or a document about a particular person who is associated with the location in the map extent. And so we can see that that person is linked to that particular location. So what we can then do is flip over to the location view and say, well, show me this location. So we'll paste that in there, and we will go and learn a little bit more about the location that this person was apparently working at. There it is, this El Cod research station, and it looks to be in quite a remote area. So, this is an opportunity also to get a sense of the surrounding area. What's in this area? What information is associated with this area? What information do we know from internal databases, from the outside open sources, etc.? This is a report that apparently mentions this location somewhere. Now we're going in and just looking for the search term in there. Now one of the things that happens is that there are alternate spellings, and the system will automatically check for those alternate spellings. So if you're looking for the particular location in a document, you may need to put in one or two different spellings. Now we have, in the next version, we'll go ahead and automatically highlight it. There it is now, El Cod Research Station. So again, here's some sort of obscure report about an even more obscure location that we've discovered and linked it to a person who's a professor or some sort of researcher now in the UK. So as we zoom out, we can again start to get a broader context of what's happening in this area. And this is just sort of a day in the life of GeoXray, how you can do geographic search and discovery. Thanks for joining us on this tour.